Alright, what's good? Welcome back to another Beer Pro survival series video. Playing as Benji Marshall, we're still in day 1 of the 9s. This is our second game of the tournament and we're getting ready to take on the Sharks. As we take a look at both lineups here, both teams are looking pretty strong. I remember starting off this game playing like crap. We just couldn't put anything together in attack as we throw a forward pass with seconds remaining in the half. They go to Valentine Holmes, who slots a field goal from right in front. Now you'd think that'd be the end of the half right there after that field goal. But as the siren goes, we get to run it on the kickoff. Goes to Boyd. As we call for the ball, pass it out to Milford, then we call back for it. Trying to throw it around, we get it out to Mead on the wing, with room to move, as we call for it once again. This time we throw a loose pass, intercepted by the Sharks. James Maloney it is, who races away to score the Sharks' first try of the game. Looking to convert his own try here. And he slots the 2 and puts the Tigers up by 7. Alright, looking at the halftime stats, like I was saying, was a terrible first half by us, with 2 from 6 completions and also 4 errors. Back in the second half they go wide to Boyd, gets around 1. We were a little early on the pass there, probably should have waited a little longer. First tackle, McCulloch from dummy half, goes for a scoot, pretty much a waste of a tackle seeing as he got nowhere. First receiver to the left, as we call for it, throw the dummy, then we float it out to our winger, Jordan Kahu, for our first try of the game. Looks like we'll be taking the kicking duties here as we make the 2 to get within 1. Second game playing as halfback and it doesn't really feel that different from fullback. I'm still going to demand the ball quite a lot because the AI just makes too many mistakes. As we float a wide ball out to Milford, gets around 1 and he's tackled inside our 40. Got a lot of room to move here on this left side as we show the kick. And I don't know, I was just weighing up my options there. Third tackle, they go out to Kahu on the wing, we cut back in field, try and isolate their fullback as we put a grabber through for Kahu as he scores our second try of the game. That's actually the last bit of action for the game as we take the kick here, full time. We beat the Sharks 12 points to 7, closing out day 1 of the Auckland 9s. Alright, it's day 2 of the 9s, getting ready to take on the Bulldogs in our first match of the day. We're at the top of our pool and we're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the qualifying final. Looking at both lineups here, I'm pretty much expecting every team to be stacked. I also updated a few players' looks. That's why Clemens got hair and a beard, and I trimmed some fat off Cassiano. As we get started here, and the first pass of the game goes directly into touch, so we're immediately under pressure here. A little scoop from Eastwood, with no one covering our blind side, and Bayer notices it and sneaks in for their first try of the game. Reynolds with the kicking duties and he's going to nail it from out wide. Some pretty unrealistic drop kicking going on here. I don't know if you guys watched it in real life, but hardly anyone could kick any goals, especially from the sideline. Actually, I do remember Kahu making a few, and I also remember him costing us the game because he was moving like a turtle to kick the last goal. Anyway, the Bulldogs up by 6. Blair comes up with a nice shot there. On Brett Morris it was. Fifth and last, they put the high ball up, Milford under it, and he fields it in goal for the restart. Off the tap, they pass to Error, we call for it out wide, get tackled, get the offload away to Boyd, and he gets around 1. With no one in front of him, he's going to race away for our first try of the game here. It was a risky offload, but it paid off for us in the end, as Boyd scores and we convert here to tie the game up. Alright, so we're 5 minutes in, Milford with the return, tie game, we get around 1, get the pass away to Hunt, so 3 playmakers on the field. Takes the tackle, we attack the short side, dummy in, go out to Kahu, call for it back in field, and we're going to race away here. It's going to be a bonus zone try here for the 7-point lead, given that the kick's from right in front, as we slot the 2 and head into the halftime break with the lead. As you take a look at the halftime stats here, on paper the Bulldogs are the better performers. We're still lacking in the error department and we've missed a few tackles. Alright, back in the second half here, Bulldogs in attack and they're going to come up with an error. Terrible error for them, a forward pass. As we call for the ball, throw a dummy, get around 1 and we're wrapped up by 2 on halfway. First tackle, they go to the short side, we call for it from Boyd, throw it back in field, scooped up by McCulloch, 1-on-1, and he shrugs off Morris to score our third try of the game. There was another risky pass, a loose offload back in field. Luckily McCulloch was there to scoop it up, as we convert for the 13-point lead. Back with the Bulldogs, they go wide to Morris. He steps around us and he's going to get wrapped up by Blair from behind. On quick play the ball, they go short to Graham, back on the blind side, and they throw it around here, it gets intercepted. Third tackle for us, back in attack. We pass to Cara, who call for it back inside, and we get it out to Mead, who's wrapped up outside their 20. So they give away yet another penalty and we're back inside the attacking zone. As we pass it back in field, Wood gets past one and he's going to get wrapped up 5 meters out. We call for it on the fly, throw a dummy, and it's going to be another bonus zone try to close out the game. Full time here, we defeat the Bulldogs 26 points to 6. As we look at the full time stats here, it was a pretty rough game, a lot of errors from both teams. We do pick up man of the match, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Leave a like for more RLL3, and I'll see you in the next one.
I could get you more, a little more, whatever you need, what you need. I could get you more, a little more, whatever you need.